Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I think we've got a large crowd in this meeting today, so I don't want to take up too much of this introduction time. Um, right now, I am going to turn this meeting over to Derek Sellers. He is our Deputy Director here at the City of Houston's Housing and Community Development Department, and he's going to give us a welcome. Hi, Derek.
Hey, so good afternoon and welcome everybody to our virtual Fall 2022 community meeting. As Chris said, my name is Derek Sellers. I'm a Deputy Director here at the Housing Community Development Department. This is our second community meeting we've done during this fall, and it's also going to be the final one. We had one back on November 30th in person, the first time we've done one in person after 3 years, but we're excited to be here in person with you this afternoon virtually. We want to still continue these types of meetings to reach out to more Houstonians, more stakeholders. So we know that this can be a lot more convenient for many, many people. At Housing Community Development, we envision a city where everyone has a home they can afford and a community where they can thrive. Our mission is to make investments that serve Houstonians' housing needs and build a more equitable city by creating safe, resilient homes and vibrant, healthy communities for residents. Throughout this meeting this afternoon, you'll get an idea of the work that we do here and what we have done to accomplish our mission. This afternoon's presentation, we're going to cover some program outcomes from the previous year with our entitlement funds, and then we're going to also talk about some of our plans for the future. Ultimately, our goal is to hear from you about how we can improve the lives of Houston households as we prepare for the new action plan year. You are critical to helping us understand the needs of Houstonians. We ask that you please stay engaged. Give your input during the public hearing segment and the discussion groups because we're here to hear from you this afternoon. Again, I'm excited to have you attend with us this afternoon. Thank you all for participating, and we'll move on. I'll have Chris take it away for the next part of the presentation.
Thank you so much, Derek. We appreciate you. And again, just welcome to everybody. My name is Chris Robinson. I'm a senior planner here with the Housing and Community Development Department, also known as HCD. And I'm excited to be with you guys in this space and talk about our plans that we have for the next year and some of the things that we've also done in the past. I just want to highlight a few things for you. We will be recording this meeting. It's already recording. It will be streamed on HTV following this meeting, and we'll also post it online if you ever want to look back at what we've discussed today. The presentation slides are already online, so you don't have to request those. Just navigate to this bit.ly link. It's bit.ly/public hearings, and you'll be connected to our public hearing webpage here at HCD, and those slides are available for you to download now. Just a tidbit on bit.ly links, make sure you use the capital letters. So it's a capital P and a capital H, because that will make a difference for you. We do have our chat also available for you. If you want to sign up to make a public comment, that's where you will do it. Oh, excuse me. You'll put your first and last name in the chat, and then we'll create a list from those names so that you can make a public comment during the appropriate time. I will ask that you just be mindful of what you put in the chat because everybody can see it. And we will also go back and catalog the chat and keep it for our records. So just know that whatever you put there, it'll stay forever. And lastly, you do have microphone access during the public hearing portion of this meeting, but currently your microphones are muted, so you don't have access to them now, but you will. And just again, if you want to make a public comment during that time, put your first and last name in the chat. So right now, we want to know where you guys are from. Please tell us what neighborhood you're from. I am originally from the greater Inwood, moved around a couple of times in the city, and so I would love to see who's joining us and from where. If you have chat capabilities, just drop us a line in the chat. We'd love to see where you're joining us from. And you can put that in the chat at any point during this meeting. I see somebody's from Katy, Harris County, great, great, Meyerland and Montrose, Second Ward. We've got people from all over. I see Fondren in all caps, Southwest Houston. I love it. Thank you so much for joining us, Cypress, Southwest Houston. Thank you guys. Keep putting all of that sensational Sunnyside in the chat. I love it. I play volleyball out there in the sensational Sunnyside. But thank you so much to everybody who's joining us from all over Houston. Keep putting that great information in the chat and we'll take a look at it later. Alrighty, here is a brief agenda of what's going to happen during this meeting. We have already been welcomed by our illustrious Deputy Director, Derek Sellers. We're going to be doing a presentation here in just a moment. And then as I talked about earlier, this is still a public hearing, so we will have that segment available to you guys. And then we're gonna do some breakout groups. Hopefully technology will work with us today. And then we'll do a brief report out from those breakout groups and then have some final remarks and resources. Great. Keep dropping all that stuff in the chat. I love it. I'm seeing Fifth Ward, Midtown, Kashmere Gardens. I love it. Thank you guys so much for joining us. So let's just jump right into the presentation. I'm going to give you a brief overview of what this meeting is all about, and then we'll get into a little bit more content and do a deeper dive. So at HCD, as Derek kind of stated earlier, we envision a city where everyone has a home that they can afford in a community where they can thrive. And so we achieve this vision through several ways. We provide affordable homes, communities and economic development, infrastructure and neighborhood services, and also supportive services. And so we work towards this mission with 9 goals in mind. We preserve and expand the supply of affordable homes. We expand home ownership opportunities and provide assistance to persons with HIV or AIDS. We help reduce homelessness, improve the quality of life. We revitalize communities, promote health and safety, and we foster economic development and promote fair housing. So at HCD, we receive about $45 million through our 4 federal formula grants, which is given to us through the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, also known as HUD. These grants are CDBG, HOME, HOPWA, and ESG. And so the CDBG grant, with that grant, we provide services through home repairs, home ownership opportunities, public services, public facilities, just a host of things. With the home grant, we also provide affordable homes to renters and homeowners through several programs or developments. We also have our HOPWA, which assists persons who are living or persons and their households who are living with HIV or AIDS. And then ESG, the Emergency Solutions Grant, really helps those to be sheltered and supported, especially for people who are experiencing homelessness or at risk of homelessness. All right. So while other populations may benefit from HCD programs, HCD primarily targets populations who are LMI. This is standing for low and moderate income households. And so what is the LMI household? That is someone who makes 80% or less of the area median income. And so to the right of this screen, you'll see a breakdown of the household size and the area median income for that group. And so this is up to, and when I say up to, that means a household size of one person can be served if they make up to 49, anywhere between, $0 and $49,600. A 2-person household can make anything less than about $56,000 $60,000 or less, and so on. And so we serve populations anywhere that fit in these household sizes and fall less than these numbers that correspond to that, the income levels. And so to the left, you'll see a map that shows all of the areas in Houston that are considered to be LMI. So it's a great population of the city that is incorporated into this category. And so we serve a broad population here. So what are we doing today? We are going to be talking about the 2021 CAPER and the 2023 Annual Action Plan. The 2021 CAPER, or the Consolidated Annual Evaluation and Performance Report, I think I said that backwards, Annual Performance and Evaluation Report, that talks about our accomplishments over the past year. And then the 2023 Annual Action Plan is going to talk about what we plan to do for the next year. And so we're coming to you to not only showcase all the great work that we've done in the past, but also to talk about how we want to develop the plan going forward and to get your input on that plan. So what exactly is the Annual Action Plan? This incorporates those 4 grants that we talked about earlier: CDBG, Home, HOPWA, ESG, those 4 big grants. And so this is an annual strategic plan with goals and objectives. Again, it allocates over $45 million in federal entitlement funds for activities from July 2023 to June of 2024. And it really just goes over how we intend to improve housing and public facilities and infrastructure, and how we really want to improve the quality of life for LMI, or low and moderate income households in Houston. So let's briefly talk about the planning process for this. So right now we're doing our fall community meetings, where you see that red circle. As Derek said earlier, we held a public hearing on November 30th, and now we're coming back to you again on December 15th today to try to get your input on how we should develop our strategic plan in the next few months. And so you'll see that we'll develop that plan, and then we'll come back to you guys in the spring and hold similar meetings. But that time we're going to show you the plan and say, this is what we intend to do going forward. Did we capture your input and feedback? And how can we improve it? And then we'll go back to the drawing board if we have to for a little while, make some corrections, and then submit that plan to HUD. And then the following year, we will implement that plan, and then we report on it in the CAPER. So it's a full circle. We'll develop a plan, implement it, and then report on it. And then we start the process all over again. So what is the importance of this meeting? I really like to say that we want to just enable community members to give us their thoughts and opinions. We really also want to inform the community at the same time, and understand also community needs through your input. This is also a space where we can collaborate and create strategies together. And then we also want to be accountable to you. And so sharing information from one side is not enough. We want to share and receive input from you all as well. So please tell us why you're here. I'm going to drop a poll right now. You should be able to see it pop up in just a second. Technology has not been my friend today, guys, so just bear with me. I'm launching it right now. So tell me, do you want to learn more about HCD's programs and initiatives? Do you want to give input about your community needs? Or is it A and B? Let us know what you think by selecting one of these answers. And I will say, before I go any further, there is closed captioning available. Technology is just not working at its best right now, but there is a link that's been placed in the chat. And if somebody can copy that and repost it in the chat for those who have joined a little bit later. That's okay, Shelly. If you can't access the poll, just drop your answer in the chat. and we'll take that there. But anyways, if you do need to access the caption, you can click that link and view the live captions there. Great, Amy. I see A and B. It looks like right now it's kind of 50-50. A lot of people want to learn more about HCD programs, but also give input as well. So thank you so much for joining our poll, and keep dropping all of that in the chat. Thank you, Karen, both A and B. I like that. Alrighty. That poll will remain open for you guys throughout the presentation. So if you change your mind, you can go back and change that. So right now I'm going to turn things over to Mary Itz. She is our principal planner here at the Housing and Community Development Department. Mary, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Chris. Good afternoon, everyone. Let's now talk about what we've done through these programs and services next. At the end of each year, we evaluate the work that we've accomplished, and the information is cataloged in the document called the CAPER, which stands for Consolidated Annual Performance and Evaluation Report, CAPER. This CAPER summarizes our accomplishments and expenditures from the past year, and we describe how we achieved those accomplishments. If there are any challenges in meeting those accomplishments or our goals, we describe those as well. This year it was a little bit different in that we also reported our accomplishments and expenditures with the CARES Act funding, which is funding that was made available to address COVID impacts in Houston. The program year started on July 1st, 2021, and it closed on June 30th, 2022. After the end of the program year, we start gathering our accomplishments that occurred in the past year. Each year, this document goes out for public comment around the 1st of September. We have a 15-day public comment period for our CAPER, where we solicit input from residents and stakeholders about the annual accomplishments using entitlement grants. Once that comment period is complete, we respond to any comments and include a summary of the comment and responses in the final report. And then we submit the CAPER to HUD for their review and approval. Although the public comment period for this document has closed, we still want to highlight some of the successes that happened this past year. So let's take a quick look of what we've done in the 2021 program year. Over the past year, with entitlement grants, we repaired 29 single-family homes for low and moderate income families and provided 62 low and moderate income families with down payment assistance to assist them in purchasing a home. We also funded the construction or rehabilitation of 492 affordable rental homes. Through our public services programs funded with entitlement funds, we assisted 1,100 people with homeless prevention and 1,600 families with rental assistance. We continue to support the purchase of land through the Houston Land Bank for future affordable home development, and we continue to support creating additional affordable home options for purchase through funding and supporting the Community Land Trust. Over 15,000 people were assisted through job training, childcare, youth enrichment, and other public services. We reached over 5,000 individuals and businesses with information about participation in our Section 3 program, which provides training and economic opportunities for low and very low income persons. We also funded the development or improvement of 3 public and neighborhood facilities, which included the construction of the new Avenue Center in the near north side, a new community facility by Bering Omega Community Services in Midtown, and improvements to the Independence Heights Community Center. We also continue a variety of fair housing initiatives. Our Fair Housing and Hurricane Preparedness Outreach is a grant program that focuses on funding trusted messengers and communities to spread hurricane preparedness information to the people in their communities that may not already be receiving this information from the usual channels. And we continue to hold our fair housing workshops to help support and train landlords and property managers about their fair housing responsibilities. Finally, a few last CAPER highlights from last year. Our department received $37.3 million of a new funding source from HUD, the Home ARP funding. This will assist families and individuals that are experiencing or at risk of homelessness, fleeing domestic violence, fleeing dating violence, sexual assault, populations that need supportive services, and veterans and their families. The 2021 winter storm engagement occurred last year. We had multiple points of engagement through our partner and stakeholder interviews. We also deployed resident surveys that reached 900 people, and a partner survey that reached we reached 99 agencies, and we had a public hearing on August 9th that talked about the top unmet needs identified by respondents. These needs included the need for home repair and weatherizations to make homes more resilient, infrastructure improvements, and community facility improvements. We also had a comment period for the draft annual action plan. And right now we're anticipating that we will submit the action plan hopefully in 2023, early 2023. During the 2021, HCD also created the Large Tract Division. This division partners with developers to build beautiful, disaster resilient, energy efficient single family homes throughout Houston. We expect the first round of homes to go on the market at the end of 2022, so around now. I will now hand it back to Chris.
Thank you, Mary. So now that we've talked about what we did over the last year, I want to talk about what we want to do going forward. Now, this next slide is kind of a repeat of what we talked about for the 2023 annual action plan. So just to recap, this strategic plan is going to have all of our goals and objectives for the upcoming year, and it's going to allocate about $45 million for that time frame. And again, this is about how we improve homes and public facilities or create them, how we provide supportive services, and all of this great stuff for LMI Houstonians. So the timeline process for this is, again, we do our fall community meetings in December, somewhere between September and December. This year they fell on November and December. Then we develop the action plan from December to March of 2023. We will come back in the spring between March and April, and then we will to show you the plan that we created and hopefully get your input on that. And then we'll submit the plan to HUD in May of 2023. So right now, here's a video about our home repair program.
The City of Houston Single Family Home Repair Program does exactly what the name suggests: repair and rebuild the houses of homeowners in need. We prioritize serving low-income people with specific needs and vulnerabilities, including seniors over the age of 62, people with disabilities, and people whose current homes pose an immediate threat to their health and safety. On average, the city is able to complete about 100 homes each year through this program, providing stable living conditions and much-needed peace of mind to community members. See photos of completed homes and the success stories of our applicants at bit.ly/home-repair-photos, or learn more at our website, houstontx.gov/housing.
Alrighty, so our single family home repair program evaluates damaged homes and helps us make repairs that are needed to protect homeowners' life, health, and safety. And so we want to make you aware of this program. This is what we hope to continue going forward in the upcoming year. You may be eligible for home repair services if you meet the criteria on the screen. You must own a home. It's got to be your primary residence, and the current property taxes do have to be paid up to the city of Houston. Your income must be at or below the 80% area median income, which we kind of discussed earlier. So anything that falls below that with your household size, you may be eligible. And then also your home must be outside of the floodway. So we also have the new home development program. And although this isn't quite funded with all of our entitlement funds, we do have some programs that fall under this, which is the CHOTO program that is funded by our entitlement programs. And with this new home development program, we want to expand home ownership opportunities. And so the outcome is through financial assistance to home buyers. And so we actually will help with down payment and closing costs, depending on the program, to assist with expanding home ownership opportunities. I will say that we also have the Home Buyer Choice Program, which has been piloted. It uses TERS funding, which is a different funding source, but it also provides down payment and closing cost assistance to income eligible home buyers. We also partner with the CLT to provide options to purchase homes of your choice with financial assistance from our department. And so you do have to be 80% of the area median income or lower. And so we'll subsidize the purchase of a home up to $150,000 through the Home Buyer Choice Program. If you are looking for an affordable single family home in Houston, I encourage you to look at the Home Buyer Choice Program and some of the other options on the screen. You can visit the website to view all of the homes that are available or more information about these programs. So, excuse me, we also have a multifamily division that develops or rehabilitates multifamily units in our department. And so, of course, we want to continue this going forward because the goal of this division is to expand affordable housing in Houston. And so the New Hope Housing Dale Carnegie facility is an example of that. We funded this facility with about $7.4 million of home funds. And it gave about 170 SRO units, which stands for single room occupancy. It's located in the Sharpstown area, and there are plenty of on-site supportive services to help the residents that are living there. So there's case management, there's primary health care available, financial management, life skill training, rental support, just a host of supportive services to help these families. So this is one example of the great work that we hope to continue doing in the future. As I stated earlier, we develop or improve public facilities. And of course, we want to incorporate this as well. The Avenue Center is something that we have also helped to develop. The goal here is to revitalize communities. And so we do that by, of course, improving or developing public facilities. We funded this project with about $3.4 million of our CDBG funding. It is located in the near north side. What's great about this public facility is that it's really a community hub. And there's all kinds of programs available to people in that community, or even if you're not, if you can make your way to this facility, you can get homebuyer education classes, you can sign up for resident leadership development, There are programs that assist, again, with primary health care, early childhood development, high school education, youth enrichment. There's so many programs that are available through this community hub. It is accessible to approximately over 18,000 LMI persons and serves an anticipated 5,000 clients every year. So if you have an opportunity, please check out Avenue Center. At HCD, we also provide financial support to nonprofits who provide essential services to residents throughout Houston. And so these services include childcare, job training, rental assistance, so just any kind of supportive service you could think of. There are so many available. And so we also provide services to prevent homelessness, as we discussed earlier. And so here are some of the nonprofit organizations and agencies and other city departments that we partner with and fund to provide these public services. So we also have a Section 3 program, and that program helps low and very low income residents and local businesses by fostering local economic development. And so this program has begun hosting virtual technical assistance trainings. We had just a few months ago, so please keep your ear to the ground about upcoming technical assistance trainings. These help to maximize program performance and provide guidance to contractors and project managers. The Section 3 program has rolled out this map that you can see on the screen. These are all of the Section 3 businesses across the city. There are so many, and we're hoping to add more as time goes on. And we've also just instituted a new mobile service where we can come certify you on site. And we'll just give a little bit more information about that later. But please check out the website. I've included a bit.ly link here if you're interested in more information. That is bit.ly/HCD Section 3, and you'll be able to get more information there. So now we want to hear from you all. We're going to open the floor, open your mics, really for the public hearing portion of this event. We want to know from you all how we can enhance our projects, many of which we just discussed, from Section 3 to home repair and home buyer assistance and our public facilities. And we want to know, with these things in mind, how can we help your community? What specific kind of services does your family need? Do you have a new program idea that you would like to share? And so that's what this next segment is about. So hopefully you will have some input to give. If you would like to do so, you can put your first and last name in the chat and we will call on you accordingly. Right now, I'm going to turn things over to Derek Sellers. Sorry, jumping a little bit ahead of myself, to Derek Sellers, who's going to moderate this portion of the event for us.
Thanks, Chris. As Chris was saying, this is the public hearing portion of the agenda. This is an opportunity for us to hear from you, and we do want to hear from you this afternoon. So there's a couple of ways to comment. On the screen, you should see you can do so by going through the links that are provided, bit.ly at 2022 FPH or /2022 FPH. We also can do it live by dialing into 936-755-1521. And then we have two different IDs, one for English, which is 185-916-491#, or for Spanish, we do 631-509-049#. And so although this is a normal public hearing, we do have some information we want to pass along to you, some ground rules associated with it. Each speaker is going to be given 3 minutes to provide their testimony, and there will be prompts on the screen to help you know how far along you are in that 3 minutes. Yielding time to another person is not allowed. As was stated at the beginning of this meeting, all of this testimony is going to be recorded and transcribed. Something to keep in mind, this is a public comment session. It's not a Q&A session. Summaries of your comments with responses from staff will be included in our final action plan submission to HUD. So how this is going to work is that we're going to unmute you. We ask that you put your name into the comments section, and I'll call out your name accordingly as we go through this. And then, so we'll do that as our first wave. When you start your comment, please say your name as well. I may butcher some of these names, so we want to make sure we get it accurately stated into the record. You can also raise your hand. That's going to be another one. There's a feature at the top of the screen under reactions, and there's a hand raise piece there, and so we can note you that way as well. So we'll start there, and then from there we'll do a general call and get into also the people on the phone lines as well. So I've got a couple of names that I want to start with. First up, Christine Holland. So Christine, if you want to unmute yourself and offer up your public comment.
Derek, thank you so much for calling on me. I am the CEO of Rebuilding Together Houston, and our mission is safe and healthy housing. We provide repairs to hundreds of low-income owners of single-family homes every year, and we're a long-time contractor with HCD, which I'm sure you know. We're currently active on the master contractor agreement. So when we look at the past, the glance at the past, HCD repaired 29 homes in 2021, and I believe that's about the number that is being completed on the current plan. And I didn't see a specific number for 2023. I want to say that we at Rebuilding Together believe that the number of single-family homes HCD plans to repair is extremely low compared to the need that we see in the community every day. So we believe a safe and healthy home is a human right, and we believe there may be more than 100,000 families in Houston living in homes that are not safe or healthy. So we would like HCD to dedicate more resources to help these neighbors. We would like to see more repairs for seniors, people with disabilities, and low-income families who already own their homes. These people need improvements to enhance the safety of their home and to make their home more resilient against the next hurricane. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Christine. Appreciate it. Next up, Amy Turney.
Hi, thank you very much. I read that this is not Q&A, so I will state what my needs are. I am the district director for a state representative, and I've only been here for a couple of months, but he probably has the most densely populated district in the Houston area. And I come across constituents that could often qualify for low-income housing, but I'm at a loss on how to direct them, how to apply, where to go. For instance, the New Hope housing community that came up, how would somebody get on a waiting list for that? And I think that's my biggest concern. There's just a lot that I need to learn. And if these programs are out there and I'm naive about it, then I'd certainly like to know more about that. But if they don't exist, I could see a great need for having a workshop in this area to show people how to take advantage of the programs that exist. Those are my comments.
Okay, appreciate it. And we'll direct you to some resources, I think, at the end of this that may help as far as some of the things that we fund directly. We have a lot of information on our website about these different programs. So maybe that will assist in this effort. Diane Peters, I saw that you've got a couple comments in the chat over here. I didn't know if you wanted to do a public comment. Okay, thank you. Thank you for responding. Appreciate that. So I'm going to go over and see if there is anyone in our that have raised their hands for comments. That's all that I see that included their name for comments. And I don't currently see anybody with their hand raised that may be outside of that. So I'll give you about maybe 3-4 seconds to make a determination there if you want to do that. To either put your name in the comment section or to raise your hand with that reactions option at the top of your Microsoft Teams screen.
Derek, I see Jose Guzman.
Okay, Jose, why don't you unmute yourself and you can provide your public comment.
Yes, how you doing? This is my first time doing this. I was just calling because I live on the northeast side of Houston. My concern is that half of their community up there, they're low-income providers, but half of them, they all speak Spanish. So they don't know not too much of this, how to get in contact with y'all, because I don't see too many of movement of housing in Spanish, to try to help the Hispanic community over here. And hopefully in the future it could be more simplified for Hispanics that maybe they know a little bit about it, but they don't know more information about it. And that's all I have for right now.
Jose, I truly appreciate it. Anybody else want to raise their hands or make a public comment? So our other option is to do so for those that may be on the phone lines listening in. So if you're an audio caller, you can press *6 and unmute yourself and say if you choose to go that route, please say your name before you get started into your public comment. So while we're going into that, I see now that Bill Petrie has their hand raised. Bill?
Yes, thank you very much. I'm a past president of the Houston Black Real Estate Association, but I really wanted to sort of address the last person's comment. I think HCD would continue to reach out to the different trade associations. We have an Asian association, a Hispanic association, as well as a Black association that could help make sure that your programs get out into the community as well. So partnering with the Houston Black Real Estate Association, NAREP, National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals, and ARIA, I think would be beneficial for all of our communities. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. So open call. Anybody else that would like to speak before we wrap up our public hearing portion of the afternoon? All right, going once, going twice. Well, thank you for all of the speakers that provided their public comment this afternoon. We truly appreciate it. As we go further into the presentation, we'll talk a little bit more about some other options that are available for you in case maybe you get through some of the additional extras, the conversations this afternoon, and maybe want to come back and offer up some comment to us. So on our screen right now, you can see some of those other ways. You can do so online at our website, houstontx.gov/housing. So you can provide comments that way. And getting to the earlier speaker, that's a great way to learn more about what we do, our different programs and projects that we have ongoing. And so I recommend everybody check out that website. So you can do so by mail. HCD, Attention Planning and Grants Reporting at 2100 Travis, 9th floor, Houston, Texas 77002. By email, hcddplanning@houstontx.gov. And then we also take it by voicemail, 832-394-5400. I'll turn this back over to Chris and let her go on to the next part of the presentation.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Derek. Excuse me. And thank you to everyone else who participated and gave a public comment. So as of right now, we are going to transition into our breakout groups. And so right now, you will be moved into those breakout groups. So just bear with us. There are a lot of people on the call as we try to split everybody up. You will have a facilitator in those rooms who will help guide you through this activity, and will take up to about 30 minutes. And it may be less than that. So just be prepared for a 30-minute conversation. Hopefully it's a good one though. So right now, just bear with us and you'll be transitioned into your room. We're going to break everybody out, and maybe after we have heard from our group facilitators, Miss Gwendolyn, sorry, I have a mom named Miss Gwen. Sorry for shortening your name like that. We can hear from
That's okay.
you and what you have to say in the public hearing part. We'll open the floor back up so you can give your input then. So everybody is breaking out right now. Thank you so much for your input. And sorry, Dan, you didn't get a chance to formally close your group, but this is me wrapping up for you. Thank you guys who are in the main room continuing the conversation. So as we're waiting on everybody to join us, and I think we have almost everybody back in the main room, I want to just hear briefly from each group what you guys discussed, and just hear about your top priorities for community amenities and how we should prioritize our limited dollars that we do have here at HCD. So I will start with Melissa and Mary's room. If you guys want to unmute you and give a brief synopsis of your priorities.
Sure, this is Melissa, and Mary, you can interrupt me if you want to. We got cut off, so we have, I'm just summarizing here on my own. Okay, so I think our top three were walking accessibility, especially sidewalks, crosswalks, safe traveling, especially access, maybe longer access to areas outside of the neighborhood, but maybe in close proximity. Yeah, so like access to parks and community centers and all that kind of stuff. Our second one, I would say, is fostering community connections, especially intergenerational. So youth and seniors coming together, having activities or hosting activities that may bring generations together within neighborhoods and within communities. And then third, I would say, especially with Houston's hot and sometimes crazy cold weather, having indoor activity facilities. So now that we've kind of seen maybe some climate change occurring, that we need indoor facilities so that we could have year-round access to fun or lessons like swimming lessons, swimming pools, just overall comprehensive facilities that foster fun and learning.
Interesting. Those last two, I had not really heard from a group before in this setting. So this is really cool. Thank you. And I really love the idea of intergenerational connections.
Yeah.
We say that all the time at my church. And so I love to hear it even in this forum. Thank you, Melissa. So now we can hear from Jess and Yolanda's room. Do you guys want to give your priorities? I know you probably got cut off.
If I can quickly unmute, I'll give you a quick synopsis. We had a great conversation, just led. Some of the young ladies talked about there being parks in the area. One particular young lady mentioned Summerwood area. They have a beautiful lake out there. There's a pier. And she'd like to see those things happen in the Little York and our Homestead area of the city. Ms. Martinez mentioned that she works with a lot of people that are coming into our community, and they are having a hard time finding transportation, whether inside or outside of the 610 loop, and or affordable housing. Ms. Abraham mentioned that she too would like to see some cleanup happen in the neighborhoods and walking trails and parks as well. She did mention that. I think Bridget mentioned the tech labs. She visited an area that had tech labs, and they also offered classes so that you could take classes to utilize those services, and she enjoyed them. And she would like to see some of those be available in other areas of the town. Did I have anything else? Would you like to add something, Jessica? Did I miss anything?
I think you got it all. Yeah, and just the nature of it being easier both to get outside into the city and like in, and then yeah, just ability to walk in the parks and then walk to amenities in your neighborhoods. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Walkability is always a concern. But I also want to second on that tech lab idea too. You know, we funded the East End Maker Hub a couple of years ago, which I think has been a success in the East End. A lot of people have mentioned possibly replicating things like that or tech labs, which I think are phenomenal. So thank you for all of that input. Thank you guys. Dan, do you want to give a little spiel about what your group discussed?
Sure. Yes, we had a great conversation as well. We heard from folks from the near north side. We heard from some folks in the 3rd Ward, got a couple of zip codes. Some of the prevailing themes we had were an expressed desire for parks, there was a common theme of the kids need something to do. So family amenities like movie theaters and other entertainment, parks, improving schools, things like that. So there was a big focus on family oriented amenities. We also had some requests for expanded healthcare facilities. So your standard healthcare facilities, but also pharmacies. One of my group's members voiced that he has to drive over 10 minutes just to get to a pharmacy, which is obviously not ideal, especially for folks who are either elderly or disabled and can't just get in the car and head on down to the pharmacy like that. We also heard that, believe it or not, the rent is too high, which I absolutely have to agree with that. We heard that some more LMI-focused amenities are needed in some traditionally thought of as wealthier neighborhoods like Tanglewood. That, you know, there are renters out there too that need some amenities for folks in that income bracket. We heard a desire for more community interfacing with a police presence and more visible police presence for security and safety, and a request for better public transport.
Great. Thank you. Taking notes. That was a lot of information that you guys covered. I did hear a lot of overlapping things between all of the groups, definitely about parks and youth or family activities. So I think that's really great that you all have the youth in mind as well. So thank you all for participating in our breakout groups. I think this is one of our best discussion groups that we've had virtually. So I really want to thank you all for actively participating. Right now, I am going to just open the floor for anyone who wants to make a public comment. I know that Ms. Gwendolyn Fernando, please correct me if I've said that incorrectly. I know that you still have your hand up. And so we'll do this similarly as our Deputy Director, Derek Sellers, did. We'll give you guys 3 minutes to make your final comments, and we're going to try to limit this to about 10 minutes or so. So Ms. Gwendolyn, if you would like to go ahead and make your public comment, now is the time.
Yes, thank you so much, Kristen. Yeah, and I'd like to be more specific in terms of zip code 277056. I am a full-time grandmother, and I did voice the sentiment that rent is very high, and especially in this zip code. I am a teacher, and so I consider myself to be in a moderate income group. My grandson would like to be, and I would like for both of us to be in a setting as a homeowner where he can have a dog and a backyard and all that. While we're in a nice, quiet setting, I don't feel comfortable with him having a dog, especially in an apartment complex, and not having the room or the setting to be free and to just walk outside and be with his pet. And we have a park down the street, but interestingly enough, there's not any sports type groups like Little League baseball or softball or soccer, going on. And because he is very much invested with the school where he attends in the area, I would like very much for consideration to be given for affordable housing, so that someone like myself who is of a senior age, could become a homeowner. And in this area, it is very, very expensive. So I'm putting out the plea for consideration to, be in the area for affordable housing for folks like myself. Thank you.
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you so much for adding that. Is there anyone else who would like to make a public comment before we close this segment?
I would like to make a public.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
I can wait. Go ahead.
Okay.
I was wondering, what is the email address that we need to look at to find out how to qualify for home repairs? I'm 65 and retired and presently going through some health challenges, and I need my roof repaired.
Mm-hmm. If you will, and someone can probably help and put this in the chat for everyone. I know you are a caller, so if you have a pen and paper ready, I'll give you that email address and I can correspond with you and get you the information that you're looking for. And that is HCDD Planning at Houston TX.
I'm sorry, HCBD what?
Planning, PLANNING at Houston TX.gov. I get those emails directly, and so if you will email us there, I'll make sure to get you in touch with the right person so that you can get the information that you're looking for.
May I repeat it?
Yes.
HCDD PLANNING at HoustonTexas.gov.
Yes, so it's just TX, not the full word Texas.
Oh, HoustonTX.gov.
Yes, ma'am, you got it.
Thank you.
No problem.
Your name? I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm Chris Robinson.
Thank you, Ms. Robinson.
No problem. No problem at all. I heard someone else. I'm sorry. Was that all that you wanted to ask or
Yes,
add?
ma'am. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
No problem. I heard someone else on the line that may have wanted to add.
That was me, Natasha Abraham.
Okay, go for it.
I wanted to make a statement or make a suggestion for the funding for this coming up year to consider would be for the home buying program, for maybe for the areas where the projects are projected in, having managers assist in those areas and assisting potential home buyers with the process, and having lenders specific for helping with that program as well, because I find that for the low to very low income individuals, you don't meet the qualifications. So it's like we have the programs, they're available, but you don't meet them. So it's like they're there, but we can't get them. So basically having something in place to make it more attainable. That's it.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Natasha. I appreciate that addition. I do think I see Bill Petrie that wanted to add to the conversation.
Yes, thank you. Just to the point of the last person who spoke, again, I mentioned it earlier. If we expand those collaborations with the city and the minority real estate professional associations, we can help prepare those homeowners for what those programs are. You know, the things that you're going to bring with the city, we won't see till 24, 25. So now is the time for them to reach out to the different real estate associations and get the education that they need so that they can be prepared for whenever that opportunity comes. As I mentioned, it's not a plug, but it's with the Houston Black Real Estate Association. Go ahead and reach out to us. We have free homebuyer education classes. We have 2 or 3 times a year community housing fairs to educate the community. So we're trying to do our part to help make everyone prepared. And our focus has been historically, since 1949, the low to moderate income homeowner. And me personally, it's always been about education and preparation for the individual and for our communities. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Petrie, if you don't mind, go ahead and drop your contact information in the chat so that other people can connect with you and us as well.
Okay, will do.
Lovely.
I have a question. It's in reference to, we always keep saying affordable housing. It can always start off as affordable, but we all know with your property taxes, it's not going to be affordable long. So how do you keep it affordable? Because we can keep using that word loosely, but we all know in the fact that in the end, it's not going to be affordable. And the reason why landlords have to raise the rents are because of property taxes going up and not us being able to keep it affordable for our clients.
Thank you. Will you state your name for the record for us, please?
Natalie Dixon. It's
Thank you.
Dickson.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Dixon. I appreciate that. I do think that there were some other people who had already raised their hands. I do want to make sure that we call on those individuals. I have next Mary Guerra. I hope I'm saying that right. You can unmute. No,
Thank
go
you.
ahead.
Yes, it's Mary Guerra, and I'm with Fifth
Guerra,
Ward
okay.
CRC. Yes, I'm I'm one of the HUD certified housing counselors here, and I just feel that whenever it comes to having the opportunities to be able to help a lot of these homeowners or wanting to be homeowners or even transitioning people who are in Section 8 over to becoming homeowners, I believe is whenever it is that we all have, you guys have funds available to make that available to all lenders, not just specific ones. I understand that you all would rather have a certain amount of lenders to be able to take the education or do whatever it is that they have to do. But when you're limiting only to 3 or only to 2, and they're the only ones that are able to utilize certain programs or things like that, it kind of makes this hard, for us as HUD counselors, because we're, supposed to give at least a minimum of 3 and or more referrals. And I would like for, if a client comes over and says, well, I bank with this bank, I would like to go with that bank, and me not have to come back and say, well, unfortunately, they're not on the list. And therefore, if you go through the list and these are the only ones that are allowed to utilize those programs, or the only ones that are, educated to be able to do that, I think being able to open it up to be able to anybody who's interested in doing it, get the education and not just be, a specific amount or a specific lenders to be able to do that. Because every lender has different programs. Some programs are great for some people. Other programs are great for other people. And depending on, who your client is and what it is that they're looking for, will depend on what programs, maybe one program from one lender may be great, but because they can't utilize any down payment assistance programs because they're not on the list, it doesn't benefit them in any way. And so that's one of the things that is that we, would like to be able to see a little bit more of, when it comes to future funding or any other programs that come out to be available. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. I think next is Jose Guzman. If you want to give a comment, you may do so now.
Yes, I appreciate that. Yeah, I just want to, I guess I did learn a little bit more about what's going on here, and I like everybody who was talking earlier about the help on the HCD. The only thing I'd like to see more, like I said earlier, on the area code 77078, more like a park, retails, health facility like a health store close by. And that's what I would like to see more. I mean, we have new schools. They're building homes there, but it's not growing as fast as other places around that area code. I would like to see it. I mean, I see kids walking around and they don't have nothing to do because there's no parks there. There's no extra things to do to go outside. And I heard earlier somebody said they want indoor facilities for kids can go and join or do something inside. I would like to see that. If the budget would try to, the first thing they want to look that area code, that 77078, to have the kids something to do, just not walk around, because I see a lot of kids just walking around the streets, hanging out in the wrong places. I would like to see something else, than that. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right. Please forgive me if I say your name incorrectly. I have Maricela, and I can't see the last name right now. I think it says Hernandez. If you would like to unmute yourself, now's the time. All right, we're having a little bit of feedback. Maricela, if you would like to unmute yourself again, maybe you can try giving your comment. I don't think it's working for you right now. If you would like to, Maricela, you can always email us, or I will make an exception. You can write what you would like to say in the chat if you have access, and we will accept that since we're having technical difficulties with your microphone. Is there anyone else who would like to make a public comment? We'll take one more before we close things out. All right. Well, if not, thank you all so much. I really, truly appreciate all of the feedback that you guys have given us today through multiple ways. If you find that you want to comment after this meeting, you can always do that. And we'll be accepting comments until we submit this plan to HUD. Until we end the comment period for this plan, which won't be until sometime in April. So please visit us at www.houstontx.gov/housing. You can link to our public hearing webpage where you can make a comment online. You can also email us your public comment at hcddplanning@houstontx.gov. You can also mail us a comment. You can write it out on a old-fashioned piece of paper and mail it to us. We'll accept those as well. Our address is 2100 Travis Street at the 9th floor, Houston, Texas, zip code 77002. Just make that to the attention of the Planning and Grant Reporting Division, or you can also call us and leave us a voicemail. I'll personally be checking those. Excuse me. So call us at 832-394-5400, and we will incorporate all of the comments, all of the feedback that we receive from you guys today into our plan. So please know that, and I work on this plan personally, please know that your comments will be included in that plan. And then you will be able to see responses to some of the comments that were made as well once that plan has been drafted. Here are a couple of announcements, some resources that we want to leave you all with. Every Wednesday we have what's called our virtual community office hours from 1 to 4 p.m. There are several numbers that you can call. I know it's a little bit hard to see, but you can always call our main line at 832-394-6200, and someone can direct you to this group who is hosting the virtual office hours. And during that time, you can get questions about status on your applications or information about programs. And really, you can call our main line at any time to ask questions about our programs. That's available to you. Also, we have what's called Building Communities and Strengthening Families every fourth Monday. I think the next one is going to be our last one. So please go online, get more information about this event. I believe we held one in Spanish, and I think it's phenomenal. So please join us for that. Earlier, I mentioned that we will do on-site mobile training for Section 3 certifications. If you are interested, if you have employees that want to be certified as Section 3 workers, or you have a business that also wants to be certified as a Section 3 concern, please visit us online. We have information under, I think it's under Section 3. So please go online and look for that. If you can't find it, just go ahead and email us. Email that hcddplanning@houstontx.gov, and I'll make sure to connect you with the right link. And then also, as Mary mentioned, we are going to be coming back to you all with information about updates on the Winter Storm Uri. That's the 2021 winter storm. We have more information that's supposed to be coming down the pipe, and we want to share that information with you all. And also, here's your last chance to take a screenshot of this slide. Just don't forget to comment. That is always open to you. You can comment about our past accomplishments, or you can tell us about how we should move forward in the 2023 program year. And so with that, I want to just get your feedback on this meeting. I hope that you learned some information, and I hope that you gave the information that you also wanted to give. Please rate this meeting. I hope it's 5 stars. If you think we can improve, just let us know in the chat or reach out to us at some other time and let us know how we can improve. And so that poll should be launching at any time now. Thank you so much to those who are already responding. And as always, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you haven't already, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and any of our other platforms to stay connected. Sign up for our newsletter so that you can stay engaged and receive the latest latest information about what we're doing here at HCD. Thank you so much for your time and have a great afternoon and a great evening. Thank you so much.